CedarCreek was founded by my dad in 1986, and really it started off as a hobby business that got out of control. My dad was born and raised in the Okanagan. Oliver is where he grew up. He grew up working in the packing houses. There was a packing house called Mac and Fitz. And he just, although he left the valley to pursue other business interests, his heart has always been here, and he had some success in some other businesses, which afforded him a chance to come back here and buy a small winery, which was then called Uniac, and actually 2/3 of it was still an orchard, and but he fell in love with the grapes, and like I said, it was a hobby business that soon got out of control. Well, my dad's pretty persuasive. He was leaning on me for a little bit, and the winery was really at a crossroads, and so I came here in 1996 to look after the day-to-day operations, but we had to make a decision as to whether we were going to maintain status quo, and at that time we had a general manager and a little bit more hands-off management, but if we were going to take it to that next level, it was going to require some additional investment, but I think more importantly, hands-on management from the Fitzpatrick family. And so my dad persuaded me to come up here and take on this challenge. Well, there's lots of stories of the early days. I mean, before I got involved in the operation, I remember when we first bought it, there was a very unfortunate varietal called Okanagan Riesling. And we had this wine in the tank, and it had to be bottled, but it was not very good. At that time, I was a beer-swilling rugby player at UBC, and I remember my dad pressing me into service, saying, "Look, we got to move this stuff." And so I lost a few friends over that early stages with the Riesling. In fact, the only way that we could sell it was we put on this Christmas label with a reindeer and sold it as Rudolph's Riesling. So that was the modest beginnings. So there's lots of stories like that, and, but mercifully we've come a long, long way, and it's amazing what's happened really in 2 decades. It's quite remarkable how we've grown, and now we're making world-class wines. It's an amazing story. We really do want to measure ourselves against the great wines of the world. Recently I did an event down in Vancouver with wine writers, and it was a blind tasting of Merlot. And it was amazing how well the CedarCreek Merlots stood up. We poured them against Duckhorn, we poured them against Woodward Canyon, we poured them against Merlots from Michel Rouland. And in the blind tastings, ours hung with these wines that are world-renowned. And I think that there are certain varietals that we can excel at. We haven't rallied behind just 1 or 2 because we do have these interesting microclimates. But here at CedarCreek, in the reds, we focus on Pinot Noir, which we have planted to the north, Merlot, we do a Bordeaux blend Meritage, and we've had lots of success with the Syrah. But it's very site-specific. Those full-bodied reds have to be planted down the south in the Oliver Osoyoos area. Pinot Noir is better suited north of Okanagan Falls. But, you know, all of that's very exciting, and, you know, you keep adding to it. This year we're going to be planting some new clones of Pinot Noir to add another layer of complexity. So, you know, it's a journey that we're on, and, you know, our success in the wine business isn't measured quarter by quarter, it's measured by decades.